Claude has given us something called artifacts. They've been around for a little while, but I think they haven't gotten quite all of the attention that they deserve. Okay, I can't tell you how excited I am to try this. You can build an app, you can build a little bit of code. Maybe you need some flashcards. Flashcards on state capitals. Sacramento, yes. And these artifacts aren't just for coders. These are for anyone. This is back to the days of vibe coding almost. If you can speak it, you can build it. Can you give us the option to either display this in real dollars or inflation adjusted dollars? You can do a rapid prototype or a proof of concept all in your Claude dashboard. You can even publish the artifact when you're done with it. And if that wasn't enough, you can set up your app to use Claude inside of your Claude built app. You can install AI into this little app that you can then go publish, share with the world, and anyone else using it will use their Claude API key, not yours. How cool is that? So today I'm going to show you how easy it is to use, how powerful it is, and how to use AI inside of the app. And as a little bonus, we're going to find out if a book was a song, what would that song sound like? What do Atomic Habits sound like? All right, so if you head over to your account in Claude.ai, over here in the sidebar, you can go into artifacts. You can see a ton of artifacts that other people have done, but you can create your own. And you can start a new artifact. And this is, I will say, the easiest text to code, text to app tool that I have used thus far. There's something just super simple and lightweight to it. So I want to do a quick little app. I want to make an app that has a quick little chart that compares minimum wage over the last 50 years against the average cost of housing over that same time period. All right, so Claude's going to make sure it understands everything I've asked for. Looks good to me, so I'm going to say, please start building. All right, it's got home prices or rental costs. That's kind of interesting. Okay, minimum wage, wage change, housing costs. Years of full-time work needed to afford a home. 7 years in 1975, 28 years in 2025. I'll let that speak for itself. All right, so these are all inflation adjusted to 2024 dollars. That's actually kind of helpful, but we could ask Claude to change it slightly. Can you give us the option to either display this in real dollars or inflation adjusted dollars? It's going so fast I can't actually follow it, even if I could understand it, but it is fun to watch. All right, so I love that it offered home prices versus rent costs, and then we can see real dollars. Our median home price in 1975, $39,000. Yeah, if only we could time travel, right? So key findings: minimum wage down 33%. Housing costs up 154%. Okay, so that is cost. All right, so that's pretty cool, but what if I wanted to change this to be interactive, to where I could put any kind of object in and compare that against minimum wage? All right, great, this is exactly what I want, but can I make it a little bit more interactive so that when you come in, you can enter the item that you're comparing against minimum wage? So it could be a house, but it could be a car or a hamburger or a gallon of milk. I will say I tried to do this in a free plan, and I got this far, and then it threw an error message that I had reached the maximum length of my chat with Claude. So I do want to point out that with a free plan, you definitely can still create artifacts, but your usage might be slightly limited. So it's given us an interactive item selector. I see what it's done. Interactive item selector where you can select from some of their pre-populated items. All right, the Big Mac, that's gone up. Oh, these are pretty good. College tuition. In adjusted dollars, I think we see why everybody is feeling the pinch. We'll leave this one here because I do want to get on to the next app. However, I'm going to publish this. So since this is published, it is out there. Now anybody can go grab this artifact. You could take this artifact and play with it, enter data, or customize it and make it your own. All right, so that is published. If I wanted to go find it again, I can go out to artifacts and into my artifacts. So that was maybe just a little bit more depressing than I had intended. So let's go do something a little bit more upbeat. So this is going to be another little app. I think after all that sadness, we need a little bit of happiness. I need an app called Tell Me Something Good. I would like this app to go search for some positive, upbeat, feel-good kind of news stories and display maybe 5 of them to the user so that I could click on one of the links and bring up the website that it came from. Sounds good. Let's go. So I kind of like it's sort of hard coding positive news breakthrough science 2025. All right, let's get some good news. I don't like that it's taking this long to come back. This seems to be taking quite a long time to come back. Is there an error somewhere in there? All right, rebuild the app. It's a demo version with sample stories. I would like it to get actual stories. Let's at least see if we can get stories from these guys. Yeah, I would actually like real news stories. So can you see if you can get anything from Good News Network and Positive News? Interesting. The issue is that I'm generating fictional URLs instead of finding real ones. I mean, that is a problem. Can't find any links. So here are some websites. If it just provided me some links to some feel-good websites, that's good enough. If that's what it can do, that's fine. I can certainly use it like that. All right, 5 trusted positive news websites. Daily Dose of Positivity. Salt Marsh on the East Coast, where you can see more than 250 species of birds. That's a bird lover's dream. Can you give this a slightly warmer feel? I'd like a theme of like a cozy blanket and a hot cup of tea. I guess teddy bears bring good news too. Wrap yourself in positivity like your favorite blanket. All right, so I'm going to publish that too. Y'all are welcome to go grab this and change it to your heart's delight. Your copy will be your own, and we can just keep creating branches of kind of awesome little artifacts. All right, but one of the best things you can do with Claude Artifacts is you can actually put Claude inside of a Claude artifact. So while you are using your artifact, you are using your Claude API key. But once you publish it to somebody else, they are going to be using their own Claude API key because they have to log into their Claude account to use your published artifact. Claude just takes care of everything behind the scenes. So you don't have to worry about management of API keys and worrying that if you publish something, somebody else is going to be hitting against your API and costing you money. To me, this is one of the coolest behind the scenes, I'll take care of everything features that Claude Artifacts really gives us. All right, so with that in mind, I had an idea for my bookmarker website. I kind of wanted to create like maybe a little theme song for each book, which I was going to see if I could maybe have Suno just create a little song for a book right in my website, but they don't seem to have an API just yet. So let's create a quick little book-inspired song prompt generator. All right, so I want a new artifact. Ooh, let's try calling this a creative project. Maybe that will steer Claude in the creative direction. I need something that will take as input the name of a book, and then I need it to go look up that book from maybe a Google API or something, this app, to use Claude to create a prompt based on the book description fed into a music generation system like Suno or something similar. All right, so the keyword there is I said I want this app to use Claude. So that means I want it to embed some AI inside of the app. AI analysis, Claude analyzes the book description to extract mood, themes, genre, and emotional elements. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. Claude's completion API, yep. For example flow, user enters The Great Gatsby. That would be a good one to test on. Does this capture your vision? Yeah, I mean, this sounds exactly like what I am looking for. Thank you. Okay, I can't tell you how excited I am to try this. I know this is ridiculous, but exciting. All right, let's give this a shot. And I love their idea of using The Great Gatsby. Error. All right, I did expect that because it does seem like everything needs just a little bit more work. I got an error message when searching for the book. Okay, interesting. I have run across this several times. The APIs are being blocked due to cores. I don't understand that, but that does seem to be a reoccurring issue. So Claude is going to use its own internal knowledge base for book information. I'm fine with that. It's probably been trained on a gazillion books, so that definitely works for me. So let's try that again. All right, so that found The Great Gatsby. Generate a music prompt. Oh, I love this. All right, we've got several to choose from. glittering facade, the lavish parties and jazz age setting with hints of the superficiality beneath the glamorous surface. Or Gatsby's obsessive love for Daisy. Or the moral decay and corruption of the American dream. Okay, so this is cool. And then it gives you upbeat 20s jazz, syncopated rhythms at 120 beats per minute, melancholic orchestral piece in a minor key, dark, brooding industrial undertones at 60 beats per minute. I love this. This is another great example of, I didn't ask for it, but wow, do I want it. So many books have multiple themes. So depending on what you're looking for, your idea of a book might not be somebody else's idea. You can grab the feeling that you're really searching for this book. Let's try the lavish parties and jazz age. All right, then let's head over to Suno and create. All right, so I can't fit the entire description in the simple describe your song section, so we are going to try it in the custom style description. This is for the orchestral version. All right, while Suno's working, let's head back over here. Let's try to find a different book. Let's try the Hunger Games, because I feel like that music could also go a couple of different ways. It is certainly dystopian, but there is a real thread of hope that's kind of woven throughout. Let's see if it picks up on any of that. Meanwhile, back at Suno. All right, what have we got? And how about the second one? I like that. That to me definitely captures the opulence of the 20s jazz era. Okay, very cool. Let's see what we got for the Hunger Games. The Arena of Desperation, Rebellion's Anthem, and Capital's Decadence. Okay, so do we want dark orchestral piece, epic cinematic rock, or Baroque-influenced electronic music? I mean, I think Rebellion's Anthem, right? All right, and finally, let's try one of my new favorite books, Project Hail Mary. If you haven't read this, by the same author that wrote The Martian. So if you liked that, I think you'll kind of love this. All right, how's our Rebellion doing? Let's give these a listen. Okay, I really have to hand it to Suno. I noticed this, the image that Suno generated, very reminiscent of the Hunger Games on both of them. And I was trying to figure out, I didn't name it the Hunger Games. I was trying to figure out what it picked up on, and it does mention District 12's humble origins. I think that's all it took for Suno to generate this kind of Hunger Games-like icon. AI, always impressing me. All right, so Project Hail Mary. Hopefully these are not spoilers. All right, I am not going to show the last one because if you haven't read this book, it has a very minor spoiler and I definitely don't want to spoil anything. But Awakening in the Void, that one's worth a shot. So let's go add that one in. All right, let's see what we got. as far as I'm concerned, 100% success. Oh, we could make this a little bit prettier. The UI design needs just a little bit of help. Can you give this more of like a musical theme? Okay, that does look a lot better. Literary Harmonizer, transform stories into symphonies. I'm not sure this is clear exactly what it does, because I don't like find music. Wow. I am also worried about breaking this. Okay, the styling is beautiful, but the labels are a little misleading. The Find Music button needs to say Generate Music Prompt, and I'd like the subtitle to explain what this actually does. I'd like it to say, enter a book and get an AI-powered music prompt out that you can use in a music generator to generate a song. If you could clean that up and kind of present what it does just a little bit better, that would be so much better. Find book, that's much better. That's a little wordy, but that is what I said. Perfect for Suno. Okay, that's good. I mean, that is very clear. It's kind of ugly, but it is super clear. Let's test it one last time to make sure it still works. Try everybody's favorite book. Oh, that's very nice. Much better. What do Atomic Habits sound like? Minimalist piano composition, contemplative electronic ambient track. Let's try uplifting orchestral piece. Lovely. All right, so that looks good enough to publish. Awesome. All right, and so I did look up the error message we were getting for my Tell Me Something Good artifact. And I'm sure a bunch of you already know this, but the problem is the Claude AI server is requesting links to stories or whatever from web pages. And that website is saying, I don't really know if you have permission to just go grab all of my stuff, so I'm gonna block it. So it's not like Claude was broken or anything. It is definitely behaving as expected. And in fact, I can get behind that. If I wanna go read a story from their website, I wanna go to their website, give them that traffic, their ad revenue, whatever. That's all well and good. So that's Claude Artifacts. So these are just awesome little tools. Anytime you have an idea, you can just go generate an artifact. If you just need a quick little prototype or a proof of concept, or if you just want a standalone little widget that you can use, you can just go and pull it out from time to time. And I just think it's super cool that Claude has allowed you to publish these and let everybody use them and remake them to be whatever kind of little mini app that they need. So I feel like this is just a feature of Claude that has kind of gotten overlooked amongst all of the Claude Code CLI wave of news coverage. Claude Code CLI is amazing, and I have leveled up my coding skills like 1,000,000,000%. But these artifacts are so accessible to anyone that I just felt like they were missing a little bit of love. I hope next time you have a little idea that you're not sure how to bring it to life, just go into Claude and look for an artifact and just see what you can do with it, because it's a pretty powerful little tool. All right, go enjoy, go play. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.